All right, so now we're doing lesson 16 and unit 4. Okay, it says understand equivalent fractions. That means fractions that are equal to each other. They're not necessarily going to look the same, okay? Okay, but they're equal to each other. For example, something like this, okay? If I have 2/4, okay, and 3/6, are those equal to each other? Why are they equal? They're both a half. 2 is half of 4, and 3 is half of 6. That is equal. Okay? So let's see what else they have. It says, how can two different fractions be equal? Well, two fractions are equal if they name the same amount. Okay? Like, here's the example that they give you. Here's a half. In this case, I just cut the circle in half, right? But here's also a half because even though I cut it into fourths, how much is shaded in? A half. And this also is a half is shaded in. It's the same amount. It's just that here you have 2 1/4, and here you just have a half. Okay, different fractions that name the same amount of the whole are called equivalent fractions. So can we highlight this? Equivalent fractions. So look at the circles, the same amount is shaded in, which we talked about that. Okay. Also, we can know that on a number line, you can also see equivalent fractions using a number line. Okay, the first number line is in half here. Okay, this one. Okay, and I go straight down. So, okay, 2/4 is also in the middle of the number line. So a half is equal to 2/4. Okay, those are equivalent fractions, meaning they have the same amount. Okay, so look at the two rectangles. Okay, at the right. Okay, the two rectangles at the right are the same size. One is a half part is the same size as 2 1/4. Okay, so that means this is the same thing as this. Here I have a half, and here I have 2/4. And those are equivalent fractions. They're means exactly the same. And here's the example that they give you. Look at this one here. Even though the amounts are it looks like they're a little bit different. Okay. This rectangle, how much is that shaded in? One what? 1/2. This rectangle, 2/4 are shaded in. Is it still a half? Should that shaded in? The bottom one right here? Yes, it is. Okay. It might be the different size, but it's still the same amount. Each one of those, a half is shaded in. Okay. So we should know that 2/4 is equal to a half. I want to write those down. All right. Let's go on to the next page. Then it says once you make sure the holes are the same size, look at the size of the parts in each hole to name equivalent fractions. It says to shade the same amount as 1/2. So if I have a half right here, how many fourths do I need to shade in to equal a half? 2. Yeah. 1, 2. Okay. So look at this one here. Okay. Look at this one here. Okay. It says you can also divide the rectangle into different numbers of equal parts to find fractions that are equivalent to a half. So here's a half, right? How many 1/6 do I need to shade in to equal a half? Just one? Hold on. That does not equal to that, and that's not halfway. How many, Joanne? Two more? So how many total? Three. Because isn't 3 half of 6? Yes. And how many 8s do I need to shade in? You're right, 4, because last time I checked, 4 is half of 8. And that's what they did right here. So in this case, I have, write this right here, I have is equal to 3/6, which is equal to what? 4/8. Do you notice that the numerator is always going to be half of the denominator, right? That's how I know what a half is. Don't forget that part. So here's some more examples. It says study the example showing a fraction with the number line and with a shaded shape. So here, okay, they marked 3/4 on the number line, right? So from 0 it went 1, 2, 3. That would be where 3/4 is. On a rectangle, how many did they shade in? 3. They shaded 3 out of the 4 to get 3/4. They shaded 3 parts were shaded in, and there were 4 equal parts in the whole. So the fraction is 3/4. And on the number line, they went to 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and that's where they stopped. And answer some of the questions here at the bottom. Okay. Says what fraction is the circle shaded in? Okay. Well, how many pieces are there altogether though? 8. And what is that going to go? Is that going to go top or bottom? Bottom. And what's the number on the bottom called? Denominator. Okay. And how many were shaded in? 3. And that's the number at the top. And what's that one called? Numerator. So what did the denominator say to the numerator? I'll be back. That's a little joke. That's a little joke. Yes, yes. Yeah, the fraction of the circle is that shaded is 3/8. Okay. Now on the number line it says label the marks on the number line with fractions. Okay. So first of all, how many sections are there? 6. So my denominator is going to be what? 6. Okay, and actually 6/6, right? And then I start with 0. What's the first one? 1/6, then 2/6, then 3/6, then 4/6, 5/6, and then 6/6. Okay. If I said what's the unit fraction, that means what's the fraction for here? Okay. There's a difference when I ask you that. Okay. But each line has its own fraction. Okay. But the spaces in between, it's the same one because it's the unit fraction in this case. Okay. Then it says draw a section to show 3/6. Okay. So how many sections am I going to highlight? 3. 1, 2, 3, and I stop right here. Is that halfway through the line?
Yes.
Maybe you should be doing that. So what part of the whole shape is shaded? Write the fraction. Go ahead and do number 3 for me, please. So I need to write a fraction of the part that's shaded in, right? So I have total, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. That's my denominator. And there were 5 that were shaded in. Boom, I'm done. Right?
Yes.
Number 4 says, Shade to show 7/8. So how many am I going to shade in? 7 of them. Okay, 7 of them. One, two, three, 4. Is that right? However, what does it say? What's the next part of the question?
Oh, whether each statement is correct.
Right?
Yes, sir.
I'm still at number 4, guys.
Oh, oh. That's a fraction for
Not shaded. So how many total? No, how many total? 8. How many is not shaded? 1. You already have 7/8. And they just want to know what's the fraction of the part that's not shaded in. The fraction, though. Fraction. 1/8. Okay, 1/8. They tell whether each statement is correct, yes or no. Okay. So it says the fraction for point W is 1/2. Okay. So here's the W. Is that 1/2? From it's between 0 and 1. Is that 1/2? It's halfway. So is that true? Yes. Okay. Okay. The fraction for point W is 2. Is that right? No. Okay. The fraction for point Z is 6/2. Okay, but by the way, each line, okay, my denominator is 2. And let's count. How many spaces are between 0 and Z? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5/2. The question says that it's 6/2. Is that true? No. Okay, the fraction for point Z is at 5/2. Yeah, so we just figured that out. So it should be yes, no, no, yes. Oh, this is going to be tricky here. See, I'm going to count the sections between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's my denominator? 4. Okay. So for point A, what's the fraction? It's 1/2, but how do I write it in fourths? 3/4. Correct. Okay. What's the fraction for point B? Well, I know that my denominator is going to be fourths, right? But I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/4. Okay. Travis, what's my fraction for point C? Well, for point C, what's my denominator for? Travis? What's my denominator? 4. So what's my numerator? I got to count the spaces between 0 and point C. 10. Let's see, this was 6, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9. I'm not counting 0 as 1. I'm counting the spaces in between. Okay, so 9/4. That's what that is.